we are very, very early in this investigation.
There are still many questions tonight about the death of a man inside a Danville home, what we've learned about him.
What neighbors told us about an eastern Kentucky family who lost 2 young children in a house fire today.
The wait is over for UK fans. What they told us tonight is they got their hands on Big Blue Madness tickets.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening to you. Tonight, investigators are looking into a motorcycle crash that killed a man in Scott County. That crash happened around 9 tonight on Connector Road near Old Oxford Road in Georgetown.
Police say that for some reason the man riding this motorcycle lost control in a curve and crashed. The coroner says that man was not wearing a helmet and died at the scene. Police are telling us the road can be dangerous for drivers who are not used to it.
It is a kind of a steep grade, and we have several wrecks at that particular location.
The man's name has not been released. Connector Road was closed after the crash, but police tell us it reopened about 30 minutes ago.
Turning to the weather now, many of us have seen rain at times over the last few days, but will that continue into the weekends?
And your Saturday may start off with some fog. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and your no-wait weather forecast.
Yeah, guys, that's a good possibility for areas that have picked up a little rain over the past couple of days, and especially as skies try to clean up a little bit tonight. We could see some fog that can be locally dense in the morning. 50 degrees current temperature as the cool spot into Mount Sterling. What I've noticed over the past hour is that a lot of thermometers actually came up a degree as clouds start to increase again. The more cloud cover we get, the lighter the fog will be tomorrow morning. But again, patchy areas of locally dense fog, a good possibility into parts of central and western parts of the area, especially to begin the day tomorrow. That'll begin to burn away by the time noon rolls around. Big area of low pressure continues to spin in the upper levels of the atmosphere. It's right on top of Louisville into southern parts of Indiana. Now look at that moisture supply that today was kind of going all around central and eastern Kentucky. But late this evening we started to fire up a couple of scattered showers and thunder showers into western Kentucky, and now past few hours, looky what we have into parts of central Kentucky. Some rain's beginning to flare back up ahead of that area of low pressure that continues to slowly work across the bluegrass state. Guys, when I come back in a few minutes, we will take a little greater look at the overall hour-by-hour radar through the entire weekend. The short-range view shows the possibility of a scattered shower or two into early tomorrow. That hour-by-hour forecast for the entire weekend when I come back in about 10 minutes.
A mystery tonight in a Danville neighborhood. Someone found a 72-year-old man's body inside his home. And now police are trying to figure out what caused his death.
Police spent hours at the home on East Broadway today, even talking to neighbors. New tonight, WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked to someone who knew that man. It's our top story at 11.
For neighbors and others who knew him, it's a long and difficult wait now to find out what killed Dawson Sears.
Anytime you hear that somebody you know has passed, you're sort of a little alarmed and wonder what happened. And I know that the police have been there most of the day, so I hope it's natural causes.
Investigators just don't know. They say an autopsy should help fill in the many blanks that remain.
That's the most valuable tool that the coroner's office and law enforcement has of determining the cause of right or death.
Police spent the afternoon knocking on doors and talking to neighbors. They also had a yellow car towed. Police say it was all part of their investigation. Danville Police and Kentucky State Police were on the scene throughout the afternoon and into the evening, finally taking down the crime scene tape and clearing the scene around 6:30. Investigators have not released many details.
I don't think there's anything for neighbors to be concerned about, but like I said, we are very, very early in this investigation.
As folks wait for answers, they say they'll remember the 72-year-old retiree as a kind and gentle person.
Yeah, he was a very nice guy, very mild-mannered.
In Danville, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
An autopsy has been scheduled tomorrow morning in Frankfort.
Neighbors tried to help, but they say there wasn't anything they could do to try and save 2 children from a fire in Knott County. That fire started early this morning on Highway 550 in the Lackey community. Investigators say 2 adults and a child escaped the burning home, but the fire killed twin 4-year-old boys. Neighbors say they're doing what they can to support the family.
It's going to be hard on this community. I mean, I've known them for 2 months, and they're really nice people.
Firefighters are still trying to figure out what caused the fire, but neighbors say the family told them it may have been an electrical problem. New tonight, state leaders are asking for more time to comply with the federal Real ID law. WDRB-TV reports that Kentucky sent a revised request to the Department of Homeland Security today because the state's waiver expires October 10th. Without an extension, Kentuckians would not be able to use a driver's license to enter a federal facility. And if the state doesn't upgrade the IDs by January of 2018, a Kentucky driver's license would not be enough to board a domestic flight.
The annual Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure will be held tomorrow morning in downtown Lexington. The event raises money for breast cancer research. The Survivor Parade will be held at 8:30 at the Robert F. Stevens Courthouse, followed by the race at 9. And just a reminder, because of that race, much of East Main Street between South MLK and Chauvet Road will be closed tomorrow until 1 p.m.
Some celebrities showing off their cattle herding skills at the Kentucky Horse Park tonight. Who this friendly competition helped in 7 minutes.
Your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Happy weekend, everybody. September is just about to get on out of here. We are just minutes away from saying hello to the month of October. Hard to believe we're on to the 10th month of the year, huh? Let's look outside, see what's going on as we put the wraps on September. 50 in the Mount Sterling, cool spot. Get out in the open countryside. Already a little patchy area of fog here or there. Best chance may be across southern and western parts of the region. Big area of low pressure continuing to spin. Look at the winds going around this system that is now working out of Kentucky back toward the west into parts of Indiana. Out ahead of that, we're seeing a little band of some gusty showers trying to pop here into parts of central Kentucky. Defender Radar Network with some action that is picking up the pace a little bit. This, an hour and a half ago, wasn't on here. So it is in the form of kind of an increase right now. We get into parts of Shelby County, Franklin, Anderson County line. Folks around Lawrenceburg have had a raindrop or two. Maybe a little light rain. Getting ready to head toward Versailles. Lexington had some sprinkles and a light shower early this evening. A sprinkle here or there heading toward Marshall Park there into Georgetown. Hour-by-hour forecast tomorrow, upper 40s, low 50s. Watch out for a little fog. And really at any point tomorrow, you're fair game to get a shower or a thunderstorm to work across the region. That low is still going to be impacting the weather here in Kentucky. Here's the new hour-by-hour forecast. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice how it has the mid-40s into eastern Kentucky. Why? It's got the clear skies. Notice how it has 50 to 55 bluegrass region. Why? You got some fog, you got some low clouds. Now watch the shower chance try to develop again into parts of central Kentucky late morning into the early afternoon. So tomorrow, I don't want you to cancel outdoor activities, but let's have a plan B in case we get under one of those gusty showers that will be on the southern edge of that departing low that is lifting its way back into parts of the Great Lakes. Tomorrow evening at 11, mid and upper 50s most areas. Fog will fire back up into Sunday morning. Notice we go into Sunday, a lot of cloud cover out there, and the trend for Sunday has been to keep some low-level moisture around. So we're going to keep that shower chance going into Sunday with temperatures upper 60s to around 70. A little bit of fog may try to thicken up into Monday morning, upper 40s, low 50s by Monday afternoon, upper 60s to low 70s, depending on exactly how much sunshine we can get. But overall, the forecast period into early next week does start to look and feel a whole lot better. So we've got the changes over the next few days. A shower or storm around tomorrow, windy and still cool. Isolated showers will linger into Sunday. Monday will turn a whole lot better as we get under a high pressure that will have some sunshine with it. Want to show you what's going on in the tropics. Hurricane Matthew, Category 5 hurricane right now, winds 160 miles an hour. Here's the eye on this hurricane. Watch what the forecast does with that. Takes a hard right and then it heads across Cuba into the Bahamas. So if you're traveling to the southeastern seaboard over the next week, be advised that this is going to be lurking and obviously could, being the key word, impact the weather across the southeastern seaboard. But as of now, it does not have a direct impact on our weather. Next 7 days will feature a little bit of a warm-up early next week before we go down again at the end of the week.
That's a nasty storm.
Category 5, guys. That's a big one.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. Well, tonight the wait paid off for hundreds of UK fans. They camped outside Memorial Coliseum for Big Blue Madness tickets. They got in line days ago.
And about an hour ago, UK started handing out those tickets, including to a newly married Big Blue couple. WKYT's Monique Blair joins us now live with the latest. Hi, Monique.
Hi, Sam and Amber. It took campers 28 minutes for all of them to get through the line here at the Memorial Coliseum and finally get their hands on the Big Blue Madness tickets. Now, it has been a very exciting week out here. There have been many UK player sightings, lots of cornhole games, and even a wedding. 1,300 people have spent the past roughly 65 hours out here in the rain, in the cold, and sleeping on the ground. So the question many people at home want to know is why?
We're crazy. Well, if you don't understand why they do it, then you're really not a big Kentucky fan, in my opinion.
I mean, this is the real Big Blue fans. I mean,
whether it be the camaraderie of the camping itself or the bond between the Big Blue Nation, one thing is certain. This event brings people together. And speaking of bringing people together,
dearly beloved, we are gathered here.
Just a couple hours ago, Ray Branham and Vicky Harvey tied the knot right here in front of Memorial Coliseum.
I now declare you husband and wife.
And their guests of honor?
You may kiss your bride.
The Big Blue Nation, of course. What? The Branhams will now have a tradition of their own.
Every year, our anniversary, I'm sure we're going to be right here. It wouldn't be anywhere else, but right here supporting my cats.
They had quite the guest list there today. Big Blue Madness, by the way, is October 14th, and we just checked Rupp Arena's website, and we could not find any tickets for Big Blue Madness still available. So sorry.
All gone. A friendly battle over at the Kentucky Horse Park tonight for a good cause. Celebrities included TV personality Carson Kressley and jockey Chris McCarron taking part in the Battle in the Saddle. They competed in teams to see who could pin a group of cattle at a far end of the arena in the quickest time. A Battle in the Saddle raises money for the Kentucky Horse Park Foundation.
I think it's awesome that there's so many people out here that are trying to do their part, also taking care of the horse and supporting the horses in Lexington. I think it's awesome.
Our cowboy there and our cowgirl, Sean Mooney and Deanne Stevens, among the celebrities who saddled up tonight to herd cattle. We understand they're still walking. Okay.
All right, another busy night of high school football across the Bluegrass. Brian is all by himself tonight. He has the highlights next in Game Time.
Hello and welcome into High School Game Time. I'm Brian Milam, and we finally have a baby. My partner, Lee K. Howard, and his wife, Kristen Kennedy, now the proud parents of Margaret Bly Howard. She was 6 pounds, 12 ounces, 19.5 inches long. That's good enough for a first down. Mom and baby are doing great. No word yet on Lee K. Looks like he needs a shave. Congratulations, though, nonetheless. Let's talk about football, all right? A couple of really big games here in town tonight. We'll start over at Henry Clay, where the Blue Devils are still trying to find an identity. Sam Simpson's club has dropped 2 of their last 3, including a tie, and has just 1 win on the season. Meanwhile, Pulaski County comes to town. The Maroons will be trying to reach their 4th straight 5A state championship, winners of 3 in a row coming into this one. Ryan Lemon has our game of the week.
Henry Clay coming out playing some of their best football of the season in this one, but it was the Maroons who struck first. Jalen Conwell, the 19-yard run for the first touchdown of the game. Maroons up 7-0. Then watch this. Henry Clay quarterback Montavion Bean scrambles right, scrambles left, pulls up, finds Zach Berezowicz for the touchdown. That tied the game at 7. Pulaski County had to go to their backup quarterback tonight, Matt Hendricks, and Hendricks was awesome. The 28-yard touchdown pass to their star, Jake Johnson, that gave the Maroons a 14-7 lead. Henry Clay actually led it at halftime, 21-14. Late in the game, and it's Hendricks again, his 4th touchdown pass of the game. This one to Jake Sloan. Pulaski County wins it at Henry Clay, 40-21.
You know, they were just a man, and we throw it to Jake. I mean, that's all you can do. If they're a man, throw it to Jake Johnson, number 2. That's all you can do.
Oh, yeah, it was tough environment, long bus ride, but it's fun coming up here in Lexington and big city. Good team, but we played great, and it was good to beat them.
So after Henry Clay led it 21-14 at halftime, the Maroons score 26 unanswered points, and Henry Clay does not score again. Big win for Pulaski County here tonight, 40-21. Ryan Lemon, WKYT, Game Time.
Thank you, Rhino. The other marquee matchup tonight, Bryan Station and Lafayette. The Generals, led by Walker Wood at quarterback, they've won 3 straight, outscoring opponents in that span by a count of 96-19. Bryan Station, led by sophomore quarterback Jalen Burbidge. Lafayette's Javaris Robinson is going to push the pile for the touchdown in our opening highlight. And if you like highlights and scoring, get your abacus ready, okay? Walker Wood. There's the touchdown. Walker Wood, a missile to Quentin Brown on the slant. Touchdown, Generals. The scoring has just begun, ladies and gentlemen. The defenders trying to keep pace. Burbidge to Micah Lowe. Goes in for the score. Oh, my gosh. This is a wild one. More than 1,100 yards in this game. 17 touchdowns. Lafayette outscores Station 65-55. Mercer County visiting East Jessamine. Beautiful sky in the autumn night. Visiting East Jess off an early block punt. The Jags take it in. Alex Fortenberry, 6-zip Jaguars. Ensuing possession for Mercer County. Gunnar Gillis on the play action. Grayson Blevins. Watch Blevins just weave his way through the traffic. Make a move on Kyle Gann. Then Kyle Gann's going to catch him inside the 5-yard line. It would lead to a Gillis 1-yard sneak for 6. Titans take the lead 7-6. But East Jessamine, they've had some wild games this year, and they win a wild one 30-27. Across town, it's Marion County at West Jessamine. Colts up 16-7, adding more here. Marcus Jones lets it fly. Jamesy Swensel is there, 23-7 West Jess. Colts get it right back after an interception. Deep again, John Beasley, what a catch inside the 15, but the Colts can't score. West Jess back at it again. Peyton Goebel with the pick. Colts still could not punch it in, but a punt pins Marion County at its own 1. Shotgun from the end zone. I'll never understand it. Josh Ramey, Desmond James, that's a safety. 25-7 West, and the Colts, oh, look at that. It's been a while since they put up those numbers. 57-21. Clark County hosting Ryle, and Ryle with future Western Michigan QB Tanner Morgan visiting the Cardinals. And on the first drive, the Raiders go Statue of Liberty on the people. Jake Chisholm takes it in. It's 7-0 Ryle. The Raiders' next possession. Morgan, look at this. Beautiful ball over the middle. That kid's a player, folks. Zachary Cusick with a gain of 31, but Clark County's defense would come to life on this play. Shoeless Joe Smith, you can call him Jacob if you like, with the takedown. Ryle, 38-6 winners. That's a good ball club right there. We are just getting underway here on Game Time. More high school action when we come back. Welcome back to Game Time. We head over to Bourbon County, where it's been 7 years since the Colonels have started a season 1-4. Coach John Hodge has never dropped 4 of his first 5, and tonight the Colonels hosting Mason County. Jonathan Thomas's Royals, they are 2-3 coming into tonight, so it's a district opener. Third quarter, that's the barrel. Third quarter, Royals driving, 4th down, and the Colonels defense rises to the occasion. Cox is there for the first shot, and John Hodge swinging southpaw. Who knew? Who knew he was a lefty? However, Bourbon County gets the ball. Chris DeLuda coughs it up. Mason County's Luke Morgan comes out of the pile with the pigskin, but the Royals don't want the football either. Chandler Dunaway rolling out, but he finds Bourbon County's William Cox, who picks it off. Cox would fumble, but the Colonels would keep it, and they would also rally for the win, 24-13. One of the nice surprises in Class A football is Nicholas County. The Blue Jackets under Robert Hopkins have started the season 6-0. Best start since 1999, the year they ran off 8 straight to begin the season. Let's go over to Carlisle, where the Jackets hosting Berea on a big senior night. It's 7-0 Jackets in the first. Cody Moon. No relation to Warren, I'm pretty sure. Handoff, bulls his way in, 13-0 Jackets. Nicholas on the ensuing kickoff, Berea's Jelani McCray receives it, but then loses it. Cody Moon there to recover, and that's a scoop and score. It was all Nicholas County. The Blue Jackets take it 59-8, and they move to 7-0 on the season. Back to Paris now. Greyhounds hosting Brackett County on homecoming, and they're getting younger every day over there. Paris up 14-0. Trey Deaton looking long down the sideline. Logan Teagarden up top, and he gets the grab. Later in the drive, 4th down. From the 2, 4 seconds left in the half, and Griffin Appleman stretches it over the goal line. 14-7, third quarter. Aaron Maggard, Jacoby Wells across the middle. That's a heck of a catch. And then Tay Cunningham would run it in to give the Greyhounds a 21-7 lead. But Bracken County, the Polar Bear, it's a Polar Bear plunge, 43-41. A nice 5A matchup in London, Whitley County and North Laurel. First quarter, Jags on the move. Quarterback Cole McWhorter looks right, finds Nick Broughton. The big guy gets free. Broughton's like basketball, too. 42-yard score, 8-0 North after the 2-point conversion. Whitley County right back. Dylan Wilson, Cameron Rose, gain of 15 to the 3. A couple of plays later, Wilson takes it in from a yard out. And the final score, Whitley County wins a squeaker, 23-22. To Mount Vernon, it's Wayne County and Rockcastle County. Winner gets a big leg up in the district. Lorenzen Lindsay, dart to Aubrey Weaver. That's a gain of 19. Then Lindsay takes it in from a couple of yards out. 21-14 Cardinals at the half. In the third, Rockcastle's Holden Barnett. Not many big guys can fly, but this is as close as a big boy can get up. Hey, show the vertical. Get over the goal line. 41-34 Rockcastle in overtime. And we wrap up the highlights. Harrison County, the Breads hosting Scott High in the second. Scott's Jared Kelsey is sent scrambling. And the camera is scrambling, waiting for the ball. There it is. But Eric Barber finds some light, gets the touchdown. 29-13 Harrison. Under a minute left in the half. Timothy Abbott gets the pass for Harrison, and he's hit by an eagle. Alex Thurza recovers. Scott then back on the attack as Kelsey gets the toss back to start to scramble away. A little flea flicker action. Harrison's Luke Stutcher is there, making the pick to close out the half, and the Thoroughbreds, attaboy, Harrison County wins it 36-19. Coming up, we'll take a quick look at UK and Alabama tomorrow night. That's next. The Cats have a measuring stick game tomorrow night. How do they match up against the #1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide? The Cats defense coming off its best performance of the season. It's the first time the Cats have played the #1 team in America since Mississippi State a couple of years ago.
It's unbelievable. I was talking to a couple of my buddies back home. I was like, man, you realize 4 years ago, like the places we would go to play, and now 4 years later, I'll be playing in Tuscaloosa against the #1 team in the nation. It's just, it's honestly just crazy, and it's a big blessing for me.
Just compete, we got to go out there and talk, communicate, relax, play our game. We can't think about other stuff like, oh, this is the #1 team in the nation. We got to think about each other. We got to think about doing our jobs.
#1 Alabama, Bryant-Denny Stadium, and the Cats will get it on tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. You'll see it on ESPN. Once again, congratulations to Lee K. Howard and Kristen Kennedy on the birth of their daughter. He'll be back next Friday. We'll see you then.